All right, guys, I believe that we are live officially 100%. YouTube is a bit complicated. So when you go live, you have to first look at it and you have to first make sure as you're on the live stream. So it's kind of weird that you got to do that. But we are officially live. So, hello everyone and welcome to Kicking It with Karam, which is a series that we've created that every single Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I speak about real estate and get into strong detail for those real estate lovers. Me, when I speak about real estate, I always say I get pretty hyped up. So, if you see me get pretty hyped up, don't worry, it's because I'm talking about real estate. Today's topic is one that is going to blow your brain because it is one that I've been through, the one that I'm sure you're gonna go through or you've been through, and one that's gonna be solved, which is how to get funded in real estate. How to get all of that money in your pocket to buy these investments, to buy these properties, to buy these lands, and so forth. That's what we're going to break down for you in this video. We're not going to take too much of your time, but we're going to pinpoint exactly how you can make these investments and how you can build up your capital to continue forward, to continue in the real estate world. What is going on? How are you doing, Shabnam? Hope everything is good. It's glad to always see you. No, last time somebody else was first, but I always see you in my lives and I really do appreciate that. So thank you for that. Any questions you guys have, remember to ask it in this live stream. You're here with me live. You don't have to go to Google and ask. Just ask any question regarding real estate and I'll be the person to answer it for you on the live session. Now, one thing we have going is I have it broken down for you in very basic steps on how you can get funded. Of course, when I say things, they're going to sound easy, but of course you got to take the effort and the action to make it happen. And overall, it's easy if you make it easy, right? Anything in life is easy if you make it easy. And don't forget to put on that settings bar. I don't know what, it's basically the settings bar inside the screen. Put it all the way to 720p to make sure that it's in the top resolution so you can see me crisp and nice. I put a lot of thought, I put a lot of investment into the setup, so I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it from the mic's audio all the way to the camera, and I want to make sure you get that experience. So if you can just pop it all the way up to 720p, it makes it HD because I think YouTube automatically makes it at the lowest quality to make sure that it's sped up for you guys. But that being said, now I think we have enough people on this live, so let's hop right into the discussion of how you can get funded in real estate. And we're going to start with number one, the most obvious one, the one that all of you more than likely know, and that's the one that we're going to start with because it's actually almost the best one if you're able to get it, which is to get self-funded. Meaning you have your own money, you have your own capital. And you might be wondering, how am I going to get my own money? A lot of ways you can do it. Right now you might be working. Every single month you save up some money. Right now you can have a savings account where you've always been saving money since you were younger and you just put that money, whether it's under your bed, whether it's in your closet, in your bank, wherever it may be. And then there are so many ways that you can get self-funded even from your side hustles, from you flipping things, selling things, and so forth. So those are ways that you can go, which is self-funded. That's the number one and best one. Why I like this one the most is because if you are self-funded, you are never going to rely on someone else. But of course, if you're trying to scale in the real estate business, if you want to go into millions of dollars, those big deals basically, if you want to go into those deals, you're going to have to start scaling with other people on your team. So self-funding can only go so far, especially if you're young and you're in real estate. It's not going to go that far for you because you have to have millions when you want to get competing with those, they call them big dogs, when you want to start competing with the top players. Now, why I like it, like I was telling you, is because you have 100% ownership, meaning that all the risk is on you. Yes, it's more scary because you're taking all that liability, all of that risk on you, but any mistake you make is on you, not on your reputation, and nobody else is going to be like, why'd you lose my money? Why'd you take my money? And why'd you trick me saying you're going to make me more money? So it's 100% ownership. So if you make a sale and you make $30,000 profit, that goes right in your pocket. All that money's for you. That's the first and best thing. Now, there are so many other things that when you deal with other people's money, you start to get such a big headache. They keep calling you, what's going on? They keep asking you, how's everything going? They keep trying to check up and so forth. I actually just felt these in my ear. I even forgot I had them. These AirPods are the best investment. The best investment. I vouch for them to everyone out there. I think they're $150. They've made my life so easy, especially in real estate. You're getting so many phone calls left and right. You're just walking, you're driving, you're eating, all of that. Double tap on the ear and it answers it for you. The best investment. A lot of times I forget they're in my ear. So we were talking about it gives you a big headache whenever you're doing investments off of someone else's money, because they're always going to be wondering and questioning and wanting to know what's going on. Now, a scary thing is when you ask for people's investments and you start playing with their money, meaning you're still learning, you're still experiencing, and you're losing money based off of someone else's. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that the money we take from people, they're number one, trusting us, and number two, they're taking a risk. And if you don't come up in profits for them, if you make them lose money, they're never going to invest in you long term, even when you know the game 100%, even when you're confident and know what you're doing. You don't want to lose on these early people who are coming in believing in you. So we're talking about number one being the best way to get funded is self-funded. When you get investors from outside and so forth, it gives you a big headache. So if you have that money, that's the key, is to use that money. Remember, you don't need millions of dollars. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just need a certain amount of money for that specific deal that you're trying to do. Whether it's a down payment of $5,000, $20,000, $50,000, whether it's a down payment of, you always have to put a down payment. There's never going to be a no down payment. But you get my point. Sometimes it doesn't have to be that much of your own capital, and you can actually save up that money very easily. And also, you make your own decisions. That's the biggest thing. When you're doing investments and you have someone with you, making those decisions with you, a lot of arguments occur, a lot of things occur. And when you're self-funded, all that is thrown out the window, basically. All that is on your own decision and your own time frame. The second one that we're going to be talking about is angel investors. So we spoke about self-funding is great. Now the second one is angel investors. This is how you can get funded as well. Now angel investors, they're not angels, but they are angels at the same time, because they're ones who believe in you and ones who actually put their money towards you because they see that this person is a hustler. This entrepreneur is hungry, ready to dominate. I want to put my money in this person. Now, these people are going to ask for equity in the company that they're investing in. So if they're going to give you $100,000, they're going to ask for 10% equity, 20% equity, whatever your valuation is for that company. As a real estate investor, me and you, we don't technically have a company per se. We're not a tech company. We're not a startup company. We're just people investing in properties and so forth. So these angel investors, when they look at you, you're going to have to be able to make something very presentable to them. Meaning you want to go down the street and do a development for $40 million. Or you want to go down the street and buy an apartment complex for $22 million. Angel investors see that you have a big portfolio. They want to start basically reaping in some of the profits that you're making. They're willing to invest. But realistically speaking, if you're investing in 1 home, 2 home, 3 home, you're going to have to figure out what type of angel investor you're going to want, because your company is not going to be valued that much. So I wanted to throw that in because it's important. These investors are also investors you can get down the line as you scale, because in real estate, when you try to scale, it is a lot of money required. It is a highly intensive business when you try to get to the next level. Would this work in Europe as well? We got asked, would this work in Europe as well? Yes, because investments are all over the world, and the way to get funded is the same concept all over. Rates may differ and so forth, but overall, investments from investors, from self-funding, all of that stuff you can apply. So yes, it'll work. And also it's very good because you can be able to apply these all the way from people who are doing it in the United States, in Europe, which of course they're already doing over there. So self-funding is number 1, angel investors is number 2, ways to get funded, and number 3 is family members. You might be like, man, my family is broke. My dad has no money. My mom has no money. My brother's sister has no money. My uncles and my aunts have no money. Everyone's broke. Who's going to fund me? It's just an option. It's not something that you have to do. But remember, and please remember, you don't need someone in the family to have hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to get a family investor on board. Family investors, number 1, know you, believe in you, hopefully, And most importantly, they're going to have a lot more trust in you. And if you can give them the vision, the overall concept of what you're planning to do, more than likely they're willing to invest. If you can get 5K from this one, 5K from that one, 5K from that one, and so forth, you can end up raising 15, 30, 45K. The next thing you know, you're over there doing real estate because you went through many of these investors in the family. Now, the more investors, the more headache, the more you got to respond to. But in the beginning, you're the one asking for the money. You're not going to have too much say, but it is all doable. You know, Donald Trump, family investors, he got a small loan of $1 million. Just a small loan of $1 million. Nothing too much, just a baby loan. That's what he calls it, a small loan. That's what people call it, a small loan. But realistically speaking, that $1 million, he made it into billions of dollars now. Yes, he went down in negative billions of dollars, but what's the end goal and how is he sitting right now? Family investors is another way to get funded. The fourth one is one that's a bit tricky for me on my end. Now, a quick intro on me. I'm Muslim, number one. And number two, I don't deal with interest. I can't deal with interest. It's actually against my religion. It's against my religion because God tells us don't deal with interest because it's like you're going to war against him, God himself. The reason for that, I don't want to get too detailed in it, but because interest technically takes advantage of people, and as Muslims, we need to only help people, not take advantage of them. But there's other ways around it. So for me, number four, which is how to get financing, how to get your funding from banks. That's number four, is from banks. For me, like I said, banks are a bit difficult because they all deal with interest. If they give you a loan, they're not going to give you it without interest. So what I have to do is work a different way. I have to deal with people who deal with banks the religious way, in my way, and so forth. So it gets a lot more complicated, but for you, it is banks. And if you're a Muslim, I can make a whole new video on how you can do that. So banks is number four. And what it is basically you go to the bank. Hey, banker, I need $100,000. He's going to say, for what? You're going to say, for this property. He's going to say, let's go appraise it. They go appraise it. The property is worth $90,000. They're going to give you, for example, $80,000 and tell you, give us a 20% down payment. Okay? $100,000 property. They appraise it. Let's say it appraises at $100,000, not at $90,000. It appraises at $100,000, and they give you a 80% down payment. They give you $80,000. You have to put down $20,000 as a down payment. That's where you start to backtrack. You start going, how am I going to get that $20,000 from your family, from your self-funding, from people around you that you can raise from here and there? $20,000 shouldn't be that hard to raise if you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing. So banks, that's number four, is the bank way. Now, you guys have to remember and understand, banks are not in the business to take risks. Banks are in the business to rent out money and to get their returns on that money. So these banks, if you're a startup company, they're not going to want to invest in you. Real estate is a different game. Startup companies, if you're opening a tech company, for example, they're really not going to want to invest because it's a high risk business entering a startup. So banks will give investments for real estate though, because the physical property is always going to be there. The properties appreciate in value. It's a safe area for banks to invest in. So that's why it's a lot easier for you to get loans from the banks. That's number four. The fifth one is friends collaborating. This one is actually pretty cool. I actually like this one a lot. And basically it is you, your homeboy and your homegirl and whoever it is. You call one another and say, hey, what's going on? I see a property over here. It's going for $130K. I know we have 6 friends. Can everybody drop in $10,000, $15,000, $20,000? If you're going to be short at the end of money, at the end of the basically raising that funding between friends, you can figure who's going to take the bigger portion. But basically, friends collaborating. I can call my friend now and say, hey man, there's a deal out there. It's $120,000. I need $60K from you. I'm going to put up $60K. Boom. You buy that deal, you flip that deal, you make $20K, your friend gets $10K, you get $10K, now you have $70,000. Pretty cool, right? Concept is very simple. Friends collaborating, friends investing with one another, friends, someone that you can trust, someone that believes in the idea that you have going, someone that believes in what you're doing, and someone that can give you a hand. Because if you're going half-half with a partner, with a friend, or with someone, you want to make sure that they put up the work that you're putting in as well, not just getting free money. Or you can tell them, give me that $60K that you're going to do. you put 60K and your friend puts 60K, and you tell them you're going to get, instead of 50-50 profits, you're going to negotiate that and give them less, but they don't have to do any of the work, and you can do all the work, you can do all the decision making and so forth. So that's the one. And the last one, which is a bonus tip for all of you. This one is a bonus that's going to be for the longer term. You might be someone right now who's thinking and wondering, why do entrepreneurs go to venture capitalists? Why do entrepreneurs, people who are building business, go to venture capitalists? Why don't they just go to banks? Why don't they just go to family members? Why don't they go and so forth? Now, a venture capitalist is someone like Mark Cuban off of Shark Tank, or Kevin O'Leary, also off of Shark Tank. Venture capitalists, what they do is, you're a business and you have a business running or going to run. Great idea, but you don't have the money. A VC, they're going to invest in that business and they're going to take their ownership, their equity in that business. And they're going to be on your side. They're going to help you and so forth. For real estate, in the starting phases, I personally believe it is not important for you to know too much about. But when you start getting very, very big, and you have a $300 million fund, and you have a $150 million deal that you're trying to close, VCs could come in handy for you. They're going to want a big piece of the pie, but hey, they're putting up so much money, so it only makes sense, right? That is the sixth one, which is a bonus. VCs. These are not only good for real estate, but also for businesses in general. When you're trying to start up a company, if you don't have any funding anywhere else, you can potentially go to a VC. If your idea is that good, they will invest in you. So what we spoke about on this live stream today is how you can get funded in real estate. A lot of people ask questions on, how did I start? How was I able to get funded? How was I able to get into real estate? And there's multiple ways. I actually named a couple of them. Self-funding and investors are the top two. And investors are ones that I try to focus on a lot. As you can see, I work towards what I speak about. So when I go to investors, I sell them a vision, like a strong vision. You can make this much money. You can get these returns. You can invest X amount and you can return X amount. And I put a lot of confidence in these investors when they invest in me. And I get a lot of gray hairs because it's a big amount of risk I'm taking. But I believe in myself. The years of experience I have, I believe in. And also, I got God on my side. So that's something that I always have as a backup and not too worried about. But remember, when you take other people's money, big headache, big risk, and you have to be able to compensate and be ready to take losses in business as well. I don't tell these investors that, but what I do is I typically ask them for their investment, and if I do take a loss, I will basically balance out that loss with personal money and give it to that investor so he doesn't feel that loss to continue investing with me. I'll technically say we broke even. Thank God it hasn't happened yet, but everybody in business loses money. It's just bound to happen. You just sometimes you make a quick decision, a bad mistake, a bad decision, and it comes to you. As long as you take your precautions, though, hopefully you won't fall into that place. Now, like I was speaking about, we are on number one, which is basically how you can get funded in real estate. Number one was self-funding, you having your own money. Number two was angel investors. Investors who are going to come give you money, but they want equity in your company. Number three, family members. Hey mom, hey dad, hey bro, hey sis, I need X amount of money. Hey uncle, hey aunt, I need X amount of money. Number four is banks. Banks will give you loans for real estate and it's not too tough. For me, it's complicated, like I said, but for others, it might not be as complicated depending on your faith and your beliefs. Number five, which was the last one, is friends collaborating. Stop being scared to hit up your friend. Stop being afraid to tell your friend, hey, I have an investment, let's hop on it together. Stop being afraid to push those friends into business with you, and stop trying to make all the money for yourself. Money's everywhere, and the more people you bring on board, the more fun you're going to have, the more people are going to be fed, the more money is going to be made, and you can only grow so big. Don't forget that. Building a team is better than doing it on your own, because you will get capped off at an amount at the end of the year that you can't make more of, because a one-man show is not the way you want to go. A one-woman show is not the way you want to go. You want that team. Hit up your friend. Say, look, man, You've been saving way too long. You've been trying to get these nice cars when you should be investing. I got an opportunity in front of you. I need you to give me $50,000 tonight. And you believe it or not, your friend may have that money. May have it just sitting there because they've been saving and saving and saving. Or they may have to liquidate that nice car that they have, that they put all their money in there, in a depreciating asset. And you got to convince them to make more money in actual businesses that bring returns for them, not things that just take their net worth down. Self-funding meaning, I got a question saying funding meaning, self-funding meaning self-funding. How do you explain that exactly? So your money yourself, you made $1,000 at work. You take that 1,000 and put it in real estate. That in real estate or business, that means you're self-funded. Funded meaning you made that money. It is coming in either from you or from someone else. So that's what funded means. In the sense, how to invest with no money. That's the question so many people ask. So let's just say I have Shabnam basically asking, if you don't have any money, how can we still invest? So after all these ways, I gave you 5 tips on how you can invest in money. And 6th tip is the bonus tip, venture capitalist. That's when you scale and get very big. But as of right now, we're speaking about the 5 ways. And also there's one that I forgot to mention, which is a hard money lender. But typically these majority fall in the same position. A hard money lender, someone who lends you money for typically around 12 months and they're expecting high returns. And also it's a big risk to take. Hard money lenders are a big headache. It's also a big risk to take, and they're a bit more complicated than these normal ones that I just listed, but that's another opportunity you can have for real estate. They're actually very famously known in real estate. They're private investors, a group of private investors who invest in people like you. Hard money lenders is what they're called. Okay, so we have the question, how to invest with no money. Now this question, so many people wonder it. I have no money. I have nowhere to get funded. I don't know how to start real estate. What should I do? The quickest answer and the easiest answer for that is build up your money. Build up the money. If you don't have any money, then you got to build it, or you got to figure out a way to get it. Because real estate business, you can start with no money down. And the only way really to do that in real estate is wholesaling. I spoke about it in the previous video. If you didn't watch the previous video, it was how to get started in real estate. Now this one is how to get funded in real estate. But wholesaling, where is this? Let me see real quick. All right, so you see this right here, piece of paper. I look at this piece of paper, I look at a property, and that property is worth $100,000. So I go to the person, I knock on the door, and I say, look, man, this property, you want $100,000 for it. He says, yeah. She says, yeah. You say, okay, you write a contract that I'm going to make the purchase for $100,000. I'm going to buy the property for $100K. Here's the paper. Here's the contract you did. You start walking down the street. You go to the other investor's house and say, look, there's a property down the street from you. The person is selling it for $120,000. It's a good deal. This house is worth $140,000 and it needs no repairs. Quick $20,000 profit for you. The investor starts to think. He says, okay, cool. Let's do it. Investor gets his money. You have the contract for $100,000. You grab that contract. You go to the title company. You do a simultaneous double closing, meaning you're closing with that with that person who's selling you the property and with the investor who's going to buy it. By the way, this is a whole nother video. I'm giving you a quick overview if you have no money down to pay. You sell the contract to that person for $120,000. You paid for it $100,000, but you didn't pay for it because it was for free, because it's a contract that states you're going to buy this property in 1 month, and you have an option to back out, and you have an option to assign the contract to someone else. So you just assign the $100,000 to someone else who's going to give you $120,000, and bam, you made $20,000 cash with no money. And that money is how you can start getting in real estate. So to get in real estate, wholesaling is a way. And the second way is you just got to build your money. So if you don't do wholesaling, you just have to build up your money. And the easiest way really is be confident in what you do and go sell your vision to investors. Investors are everywhere. People are everywhere. There's old people sitting on the bed, sitting on the beach, sitting with a coconut saying, man, I wish I had a young hustler who can take my millions and make them more. And they're happy with 5% a year. And you can cash out way more than that in real estate. That's a fact, I can tell you from experience. James, definitely true. James said definitely true. You'll go a lot further with a great team. You nailed it, James, because without a team, what are you really? Without a team, who are you going to lean on whenever things get tough? Without a team, how are you going to grow when things get so hectic? Picture you got 20 properties. What in the world are you going to be doing running one person to 20 properties that all need repairs, that all have questions, that all have things that you got to handle and take care of? It's doable. You can hire a property manager, but really, if you want to grow, a team is the way to go. We have Remember Raheel. What's going on, Raheel? Glad to have you in this live session. My brother, hope everything is well. He said, when asking for money, $50,000, $60,000 seems like a lot. How do I get over the nerve to ask for $120,000? That's beautiful. He's saying 50K, 60K is a lot of money. How can I get over the nerve to ask for 120K? I'm going to go ask for $120,000. How do I get over that nerve? It's scary to do. You're worried. And here's exactly how you do it. Number one, when you have strong, solid research, strong, solid facts that you know these are the returns, that you know these are not the returns, the potential returns, because nothing is guaranteed. Here's the potential returns. Here's the facts backing it up. Here's my research backing it up. Here's the team that I have on my side helping me. Here's the people who are on the team. Here's what I'm doing, and this is how I plan to do it. When you have all of the research pre-done, because remember, you're not going to go ask for $120,000 with an empty hand, with nothing in your hands, and you're just going blank faced. No, you're going to put in the research. You're going to put in a lot of research. Okay? So when you go ask for this money, the more research you have, the more confidence you get, the better you can speak. Investors will say no, and there's investors that will say yes. So to get over the nerve to ask for 120K, the best answer for that, in my opinion, is when you build that research confidence, you're going to go in and ask for it confidently. And if that investor doesn't give you the money, you don't care because you know exactly what he or she just missed out on. That's the best way, is when you do your research. That is how you can get that money from those investors, because it is scary and it is not easy. That's a fact. So what a good question you asked over there. All right, guys, so we've been on this live stream for quite enough. We got some great questions. I always appreciate you tuning in, joining on these live streams. I appreciate you taking the time not only to watch them, but to actually ask questions in them. Remember, you can go to google.com and ask questions about real estate, or you can join Kicking It with Karam every single Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and just shoot me a message on live, and I can answer it right away, just like all of these questions we received. I can answer it right away, and you can get your answer instead of having to go a billion places to research it. Also, I don't know the entire world. Every single day I'm learning, but when I know something, I'll make sure to give you the answer. When I don't know something, I'll make sure to tell you. I'll be back with the answer because I'll be able to figure it out. With the real estate experience, I'm able to put one and one together to make knowledge out of that question that you have. But that's what it is, guys. I started with the first video of how to get started in real estate. This one is how to get funded in real estate. And as you can see, I'm making a line of a series for real estate videos. For one day, one person comes up and he wakes up or she wakes up and they go, I wish I can get into real estate. And they stumble across my YouTube channel and they see Kicking It with Karam, live number 1, live number 2, live number 3, live number 4. And they see all these live videos that I've made with you guys, and they see it in sequence, in order of how they can get started in real estate. This will be the blueprint for them. This will be the guide for them and for you on how you can do it. Please remember, me making these videos is out of my experience and out of what I've been through. So I'm only sharing the things that I know. If I don't know something, you will know that I don't know it because I will tell you I don't know it. Okay, so I only share with you things that I've personally experienced and been through in my real estate journey. I hope you're all enjoying it because it takes time to prep. It takes time to make this happen, but I make sure to do it because I know there's hustlers out there just like me who want to hustle in real estate, who want to get in real estate, and they don't know how, just like I was when I first got into real estate. Now, thank you all so much for watching this live stream. Like I said, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you putting in the effort to take the extra step that others are not taking to join these live streams, because there's other people just chilling, not doing anything. But that's not your case. You're on here because you're trying to get that real estate knowledge. And I really appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing your success story saying, man, I got into real estate and this video helped me. That's something I look forward to and hope to hear from you guys. So don't forget, Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m., every Tuesday and Thursday, inshallah, God willing, I'll be going live and we'll be discussing real estate, the hottest topics, and ways on how you can get into real estate. It's exciting and something that keeps me pumped up. Before we get going, we got one more question I'm going to answer, which is from Najib. He says, what's the quickest way to become rich in real estate? I mean, super rich, not middle class rich, poor people, parentheses, poor people. I guess he's calling middle class people poor. He's saying, what's the quickest way to get rich in real estate? What's the fastest way? That's it. He wants to get rich. He doesn't have time to wait. He doesn't want to wait. He doesn't want that patience game. Nothing. He wants to get rich. The quickest way to get rich in real estate. The answer for that is actually, that's too easy of an answer to give you. The quickest way to get rich in real estate, my opinion, from my experiences and my thoughts, the quickest way to get rich in real estate, super rich, is from doing flipping in houses. Flipping homes. You're probably like, how? Why? How's that the quickest way? Renting houses is not quick. You make $1,500 a month off of an investment of $150,000. That's not quick. That's what, like $15,000 plus at the end of the year per house. That's not quick. Plus you got maintenance and you got taxes and so forth. That's not quick. What else are you going to do? You're going to wholesale properties. You can make money in that, but it's not going to be quick because it's not going to be easy to find those deals. But you can also make money in that quick. Flipping houses. Buy the property, sell it. Buy the property, sell it. Buy the land, sell it. Buy the property, buy the land, buy whatever it is and sell it. That's the quickest way, because I can go down the street, find an opportunity, pay $150K for it, land, and wait 2 months and sell it for $250K because that area just boomed. For example, that's very rare to happen though. But what you can do is you can go invest in properties, build shopping centers on them, or you can go build neighborhoods, build a lot of houses, 20, 30, 40 houses. Your profit can come out to $1, $2, $3, $4 million. Believe it or not. I can go buy land for $200K, build a shopping center for 1.2 mil. My investment's 1.4 mil. I see someone right there who wants that shopping center. I sell them it for 1.9 mil. Just made $500,000. You don't think that's quick money? That's quick money. That's doable money. So the quickest way to get rich in real estate is keep on flipping. Is it the best way? Is it the safest way? Is it the most continuous way? Is it the most reliable way? No. Market changes. Things change. There's not always the best deals out there. You're going to have to work so much harder. But the question you asked, that's the answer for it. Hopefully that answers it for you, Najib. I appreciate that question. Now, once again, guys, I do get hyped when I speak about real estate, and I appreciate you all joining. Right now, this video is over. I'll see you in the next live stream on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm excited because we have more content coming for you, and that's something I look forward to. All right. We got 2 questions. Well, not 1 question. James said, great answer. I appreciate that, James. Now, Shabnam asked, what are we going to do if nobody wants to purchase using the wholesale method? If nobody wants to purchase using the wholesale method, then the deal is not going to happen, right? If you sign a contract for 30 days, you have a way to assign the contract, to give it to someone else, and you have an option to back out. If you can't find a buyer, if you weren't able to find someone to close on it, then you just back out. You move to the next deal. But if you're a true hustler, if you're someone who keeps knocking, keeps calling, keeps questioning everyone to buy that property, and if it is a good deal, people will snatch it up. If it's a good deal and you're wholesaling it, people will snatch it up. So that shouldn't be a problem if you're dealing with a good deal. James said, thank you for doing today's live stream. Anytime, brother. I appreciate you joining. I really do. I appreciate all of you joining. And Shabnam said, great stuff. Thanks, Karam. Anytime. And thank you for joining once again. Najib continues, says, I see. How about units? Units are good if you go to apartment, not apartment complexes. If you go to units where duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, those are good. Slow money. Your question was how to get the richest in real estate the fastest way. Units are slow money, slow income. but beautiful income. And that's what I'm going to leave you off with today. Thank you all so much for joining this live stream. We will talk soon. And for right now, I'm out.